going. So I do want to ask you, like, I do see you're doing conferences, workshops. What's that like? Where are you now? Where is Sean now? And where are you going? What does 5, 10 years look like for you?
Before I answer that, I have to commend you in thinking in decades instead of weeks or months. Far too many people fall into the trap of wanting instant results, and it's people like yourself that focus on how do I do this over 10 years, over 20 years, over 30 years, and mentally are prepared to understand all great things come with time. So first of all, kudos to you on that. Now, as far as where I am at right now, yes, I have started going to more conferences. And this is also, in terms of my attendance at conferences, it was kind of over, we'll say, a 5-year span of time. It was like this, up. And then when I started my business, it dropped off. And now it's starting to pick up. Reason being, when I was the VP of corporate operations for a publicly traded oil and gas company, I got invited to a lot of conferences, CIO, CHRO, just executive conferences. And once they started to pick up on me having a knack for engaging the people in the audience, they wanted me to sit on more panels and then eventually give little workouts, breakout sessions, and then eventually doing keynotes. Whenever I left my former employer to start my own business, a lot of these companies that host these events, it's free for executives at large companies to attend and speak at. But if you are on the service provider side, coach, consultant, you selling products, something like that, then you have to pay to sponsor the event to then get on stage. And unfortunately, as a startup, I didn't have $5, $10, $50,000 to sponsor one event to go stand on stage. And so unfortunately, I didn't get many chances for the first 6 months. Now, there have been more and more people reaching out to me because I'm creating more of that content that are just simply asking, hey, will you come be a speaker? Will you be our master of ceremonies? On and on. And right now, it's still pro bono stuff because I'm trying to get the reps in, get the content, get the exposure. Eventually, I'm going to start trying to transition more into paid speaking engagements. But one of the things that I think these community organizers appreciate is when I get on stage, when I'm the master of ceremonies, whenever I'm sitting on a panel, I'm not trying to sell anything. I straight up tell them, if I have a presentation, I don't have to put my company logo on there. I don't have to put my podcast. I am there from a thought leadership perspective. Now, if somebody wants to come up to me after I speak and exchange business cards, great. But I'm not there to just cram something down all of the audience's throat, trying to force them to buy something. And so they appreciate that because ultimately people don't want to be sold to, and especially if they go to a conference.
So you're wondering the value in being a podcast guest. Think about it. You want to build your personal brand. Is it important as ever? And coming on this show allows you to do just that. You're able to leverage our audience, but not only that, you're able to leverage the content from this podcast as you clock up the hours someone spends with you. The longer time someone spends listening to your story, your solutions in the marketplace allows you to do something special. It allows you to build a community and build a brand. You can leverage the community here, but you can also leverage the content from this show to be able to use where? On LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you're going to shine. LinkedIn is where you're going to generate leads. So whoever you are, you want to come and tell your story. You want to be able to come in and be a guest that allows you to build your brand. Link in the description. We'll get in touch. So join our waiting list to feature on the Rubasha Family Podcast.
So I'm doing more and more of these conferences, just leaning into thought leadership, having conversations like this, talking about topics like this to inspire and influence others. So 5 to 10 years, we're going to continue building WSS. We're a small company right now. We've got 4 full-time employees and then a couple of contractors right now, but we're going to continue building WSS. I'm going to continue building my personal brand and the podcast. And then eventually I have ideas for other businesses that I want to start. But I also understand how easy it is to get sidetracked by the newest and shiniest thing. I've got 2 other business ideas that I will launch when the time is right. And admittedly, when I first started WSS, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and these other companies. And then I quickly realized launching a business, you have to be singularly focused on that business. And when you go on LinkedIn and see CEO of company A, CEO of company B, CEO of company C, and A, B, and C don't have any employees, that right there tells me they're so scatterbrained that they likely can't deliver at a high level on any of those things. So success comes from being singularly focused on that thing that you want to accomplish. All of these other opportunities that pop up around investing and starting and building other companies, they will always be there. And we have this fear of missing out. But the reality is, if you spread yourself too thin, if you spread yourself beyond one, I'm going to say one company, then the likelihood of success for all of them just continues to diminish the more you spread yourself thin. So continue to build my brand, continue to build the podcast, continue to build WSS. And then when WSS gets to a point where it is self-sustaining and self-sufficient, then I will consider starting and launching one of my other business ideas that I have. And my litmus test there is, if I can step away from the company completely for 6 months and it continue to grow, then I will know that we have built the team and the processes to ensure that it continues to scale. If I step away and it stays flat or goes down, I know I haven't done a good enough job in building the team or the processes for it to be self-sustaining, and I have to go back in and keep doing that thing.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.